March, a Tuesday. Ruth made soup because Tuesday was soup day. Frank came home at 9 and kept his coat on.
Sit down, Ruth. I'll just say it. I met someone. Her name is Chloe. I want a divorce.
20 years of marriage. He said it with his car keys still in his hand.
Is she young?
That's not the point. Yes.
Ruth didn't throw the soup. She didn't scream. She went upstairs and packed his suitcase herself, shirts folded the way he liked. One last time. Not for him, for her own peace.
Don't forget your pills, Frank.
He laughed at that. Pills. As if pills mattered tonight. He would remember those words in June, in a hospital hallway. Chloe was 28. She drank pink drinks and called him Frankie. The new apartment was downtown. White walls, big windows, nothing in the fridge.
Frankie, let's go out. You're free now, so enjoy it.
And for a while, it really was fun. Dinners, a weekend trip, a shiny new watch. He posted a photo that said, "My new life." He looked 10 years younger in it. He had no idea how much that new life was about to cost him. And Ruth? Ruth cried for 1 week, real crying on the kitchen floor. Then on Saturday, she washed her face and baked lemon cakes, because baking was what she did when the house felt too quiet. She carried a tray of cakes to the little cafe on Miller Street, just to not be alone. Sam owned that cafe, a gentle, balding man with glasses and a green apron. His wife had died a few years back. He took one bite.
Did you make these, Ruth? I'd buy these. Every Saturday. I mean it.
That morning, Ruth sold her own cakes for the first time in her life. Walking home, she realized that for 4 whole hours, she had not thought about Frank. Not once. April. In the new apartment, no one reminded Frank of anything, so he forgot what Ruth never forgot. His mother's birthday.
My son didn't come. He always comes. Every year a card. It always smells like lavender.
The lavender cards? That was Ruth. Every year for 20 years, she signed them, "You're Frank." Dorothy waited all day with her hair done. That evening, one visitor did come.
Happy birthday, Dorothy. It's Lemon, your favorite.
Oh, Ruth, you're still my girl. Whatever my fool son does, you're still my girl.
Frank found out a week later from an angry call from his sister. It was the first thing to go wrong. It would not be the last. May. The big work dinner. Every spring for 15 years, old Mr. Hendricks shook Frank's hand and signed the deal for 1 more year, the handshake that paid for everything. And every spring, that dinner happened at Frank's house. Ruth's cooking. Ruth remembering that Marge Hendricks liked honey in her tea. This year, dinner was at a loud restaurant, and Chloe arrived 40 minutes late and called the old man cute.
Where's Ruth, Frank?
We're not together anymore.
I see. Well, tell her we said hello.
Mr. Hendricks did not sign that night. He said he would think about it. 15 years, and he had never once said that. Little things started going wrong for Frank, and he couldn't say why. His good shirts sat wrinkled. Ruth used to iron them on Sundays. He missed a dentist appointment he never knew he had. The car made a sound. Ruth always knew which garage to call. He stood in the kitchen one night holding a takeout box and could not remember the last time he ate a warm meal at a table.
Why are you being so quiet lately? It's boring.
He didn't have an answer. He was only starting to notice the size of the hole. June. Frank was working late at his office when the room started to spin. He gripped the edge of his desk. The floor tilted under him, and the man who thought he built everything with his own 2 hands slid quietly down to the carpet, alone, reaching for a phone he couldn't quite grab. It was his blood pressure, the very thing those little pills were for. The pills he had run out of back in March because buying them again had never been his job. It had been Ruth's. When he woke, he was in a thin hospital gown, in a white room that smelled of nothing. A nurse asked him a simple question. "Who should we call?"
My wife. Ruth. Her name is Ruth.
She came. Of course she came. Frank lay in the hospital bed in his pale gown while she set his reading glasses and his warm slippers by the bed, because hospital floors are cold. She wrote his new pill times on a card in big letters and put it in his wallet. Then she stood up.
Ruth, stay a little.
You'll be fine, Frank. It's all on the card.
And she left, still in his hospital gown, watching that door for a long time. Chloe visited for 11 minutes and spent 9 of them on her phone. July, Frank drove out to the Hendricks farm alone to save the deal. Marge, the old man's wife, poured coffee, and Mr. Hendricks finally told him a story.
2009, Frank. The bad year. I was going to leave your company. You know why I stayed? One night, your wife drove out here alone, in the rain. She sat at this table with my Marge until 2 in the morning. They talked about our boy, about starting again. She never once mentioned the deal. I signed the next morning. Frank, my business was never with you. It was with her.
Frank sat very still while his coffee got cold. For 20 years, he believed he had built his life with his own 2 hands. He was only now finding out who had really built it. August. The Hendricks deal was gone, and the bonus went with it. The trip to Greece was canceled. Chloe's texts got shorter. Then one evening, Frank came home and found her standing at the door with her suitcase.
Everything about you got heavy, Frankie. Bills, pills, your mother. I'm 28. I want to be light.
The door clicked shut. Her clothes were gone. Frank ordered soup that night, alone at the big window. It wasn't Tuesday soup. It was nothing like hers. September. 6 months since that Tuesday. The old house had fresh flowers out front, and the cafe on Miller Street had a glass case full of small lemon cakes by the window now. Every day, not just Saturdays. One rainy evening, as Ruth brought the flower pots in from the rain, a car she knew very well stopped in front of the house. Frank stepped out into the rain, soaked through in seconds.
Ruth, the house looks good.
Hello, Frank.
I made a mistake. The biggest one. The cards, the pills, Hendricks. I know it all now. I see it now. Nobody knows me like you. Please, let me come home.
There it was. The man who left in March with his keys in his hand, now standing soaked in the September rain, begging at her door.
You don't miss me, Frank. You miss everything I did. That's not the same thing. I hope you learn the difference. I really do. Good night.
She went inside and turned on the kitchen light. Through the rain, Frank watched it glow. The door didn't slam, it just closed softly. Somehow that was worse. Saturday. The striped umbrella. Every cake gone by noon again. Dorothy sat beside the table in her best coat because Ruth still drove her there every Saturday.
You know what, my girl? These are the best you've ever made.
Sam closed the cafe early to help carry the boxes. He does that now.
Ruth, would you want to have dinner sometime? Not cake, a real dinner.
Ask me again in the spring, Sam.
And that Tuesday, Ruth made soup, because Tuesday was still soup day. Her table, her house, her quiet, and the soup had never tasted this good.